This is the 2020 Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road, and today we're going to review it.
We'd like to thank our friends at Heinz Toyota of Mankato for loaning us this beautiful 2020 Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road for our review today.
Hey folks, I'm Rob.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are
Two Guys in a Ride.
And Nathan, what are we taking a look at today?
Rob, today we are taking a look at the 2020 Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road.
That's right, but say, before we do, if you want to keep up to date with all the new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and you want to know how to operate all the technology that's built inside of them, plus you like cool collector cars,
take a moment and hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification up above so you never miss a video.
That's right. So what do you say, Nate?
Oh, let's go for a ride.
In terms of the ride itself, it's very comfortable, not any different from any of the other RAV4s. So I don't notice that it's, a stiffer ride, even though it's the TRD off-road version. It's got a very nice ride in town. Height makes it easy to get in and out of the front and the rear. On the interior, you have voice command, so pretty much everything is well within your reach just by voice. And if you need other buttons, they're right there on the steering wheel, most of them. And then your climate control has got big rubberized controls, so it's easy to feel and find, which is really nice. So, in terms of ergonomics, everything is easy to reach. In terms of parking, this does have a rear backup camera. Now, there are no front or rear sensors on it, but the camera is got two different angles, and then you've got dynamic swivel guidelines. You can remove those and just have a static guidelines, or you can remove that and just have one bar kind of showing you, where a hitch would be. So you got
That's real handy.
Yep, a hitch thing is really handy. So the seats are very comfortable. I like the way that they feel.
Yeah.
You got 10-way power on the driver's side, including 2-position lumbar, and the passenger seat is manual.
Yeah, but it's very comfortable. Oh, nice.
And it's just overall really nice. Okay, I'm going to pull over here, and we're going to let Rob take a turn at it.
Okay, so my turn, and right away, since we're on a deserted stretch of road out in the country, I'm going to try acceleration. Okay, and the beep is I went over the white line a little bit. Okay, not bad. A little hesitant at first, but it picks up, hikes up its britches and gets going. How's it back there?
Very comfortable, actually. I'm impressed with the back seat. It's got a nice curve to the back, like plenty of leg room.
Right, and it's really quiet in here. I mean, it's a smaller vehicle, but still, it's not a lot of intrusion of wind or wheel or tire noise. And these are more aggressive tires too. But overall, it's pretty quiet in here. So good acceleration, nice and quiet. Fit and finish, come on, it's Toyota, so they've got it nailed. It looks good. Everything's stitched well. You got the nice red stitching like Nathan talked about. You got TRD stitched into the headrest. You got the red trim accents all on the dashboard. It just looks good and it fits well. You're not going to have squeaks and rattles and things like that at all. I mean, it's just the way it is. Safety systems, we talked about no front or rear sensors, but it does have cross traffic alert. It has lane mitigation,
lane departure warning.
Lane departure warning, exactly. Anti-lock brakes. You got the
forward collision detection with pedestrian detection.
Yeah, that's right. You got the rear multi-angle backup camera like you talked about. So, and lots more. And I think Toyota calls it the Toyota Safety Sense suite of options, or suite of standard features, not options, that really make their whole lineup of cars just nice and safe. So you got the reliability, the dependability of the Toyota, and they're safe. And I've got to say, you know, we've also got recently where we reviewed one of the main competitors of the RAV4. We reviewed a Honda CR-V, and you know, my bias shows through there. I absolutely think that's an awesome vehicle, but you give me one of these, I'd be just as happy. This is a fantastic vehicle, and no wonder they sell boatloads of these every single year. They're fantastic vehicles. And this to be the TRD Off-Road with the different, the TRD branded shocks and stuff like that, you're right, Nathan, it doesn't ride
That's
rough.
what I was thinking, assuming it would be a rougher ride, and it's not.
No, it's well poised and comfortable.
We're in sport mode right now too, so
oh yeah,
if it's going to be rough at all, it's going to be in sport mode.
Right, because it tightens up the
Yeah.
the suspension, the steering response, and the throttle response. So yeah, very impressive, very impressive. So coming up next, my exterior review, and then later Nathan will take you for a tour on the inside of this beautiful vehicle and show you a little bit about the interior, the infotainment system, that is. But we're going to cut a completely separate video where Nathan's going to spend 15 to 20 minutes going through all the driver center stack instrument panel and all the technology, including Android and Apple CarPlay, that's built into the infotainment system and this really cool 2020 RAV4 TRD. So stay tuned.
As Toyota says, very few vehicles have the capacity to be both a segment leader and a segment disruptor. But this 5th generation Toyota RAV4 has managed to achieve just that. Introduced in 2019, the latest RAV4 continues its bold leadership moves for 2020 by adding the TRD Off-Road model to its lineup. And yes, this is the 2020 Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road. And it's presented here in Ruby Flare Pearl exterior with a Black SofTex interior. Now, the Toyota RAV4 is available in 10 trim levels, starting with the LE at $25,950 all the way up to the limited hybrid that starts at $36,880. The RAV4 TRD Off-Road starts at $35,280, and this particular RAV4 is stickered at $37,980. Now, the RAV4 is powered by a 2.5-liter dynamic force 4-cylinder engine with double overhead cam, 16-valve, with dual injection and dual variable valve timing with intelligence. It produces 203 horsepower and 184 pound-foot of torque. It's driven by a direct shift, 8-speed, electronically controlled automatic transmission with intelligence and sequential shift mode with dynamic torque vectoring all-wheel drive. And it also does have rear driveline disconnect with multi-terrain select mode dial that you can dial in for mud and sand, rock and dirt, snow, and normal modes. And it also does have downhill assist control. Now, on this vehicle, there's also an engine oil cooler, an automatic transmission cooler, and it does have an upgraded 150 amp alternator as well. Now, out front, we see these are fully automatic aero composite LED low and high beam headlights. You also have daytime running lights, auto high beam headlights, and you have the integrated front LED driving and fog lights. This does also have active grille shutters. You have the body colored front bumper with the black rub strip fascia, and then you have the colored bumper insert as well. You have the black grille with the body colored surround, and up top it does have rain sensing variable intermittent windshield wipers, and they do have a de-icer function, and I like that it has the heated resting spot for the wipers as well. Let's take a look around the side. Okay, along the side, it does have the TRD tuned independent McPherson strut front suspension with stabilizer bar, and it does have the TRD brand shocks. Out back, it is a multi-link rear suspension with stabilizer bar with unique shocks, struts, and red painted coil springs. It also does have four-wheel disc brakes with four-wheel anti-lock brakes, and there are front vented disc and rear solid disc. You also do see these are unique 18-inch 6-spoke matte black TRD flow-formed alloy wheels with black lug nuts, and they are wrapped in P225 60HR18 Falcon all-terrain tires. You also see the black body side cladding and large black over fenders. It does have the body colored door handles with the lock-unlock sensor. You have the black power heated side mirrors with manual folding, and then they also have the integrated turn signal indicator. Also, you have the chrome window trim, but you do have the blacked out beltline trim, and there is deep tinted privacy glass, and you have the unique black roof rails up top, as well as a power tilt and slide sunroof. Let's take a look around back. Okay, out back we see this is a height adjustable power lift gate, and it does have jam protection. You also do get the body colored rear spoiler, and the high mount stoplight, of course, has an intermittent rear window wiper, and it has a rear window defroster. These are LED brake and tail lights, and you do also have the black RAV4 and TRD Off-Road badging. You do have the black rear bumper with the dark gray rub strip fascia. And down below you have the quasi-dual stainless steel exhaust with chrome tailpipe finisher. Let's take a look at the cargo area. Okay, so inside cargo volume. Cargo volume behind the second row seats is 37 cubic feet with a max of 69.8 cubic feet. Cargo length to the front seat, 70 inches. Cargo length to the rear seat, 38 inches. Width at the belt line is 43 inches. Width at the wheel housings is 44 inches. Cargo area height is 32 inches. And the liftover floor to the ground is 31 inches. Now, let's talk about some of the safety features on this RAV4. You do have pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, lane departure alert with steering assist, lane tracing assist, automatic high beams, full speed range dynamic radar cruise control, one of my favorite new things on cars nowadays. Does have blind spot monitor with rear cross traffic, road sign assist, and so much more. Let's talk about the dimensions. Okay, front track 62.6 inches, rear track 63.3 inches, maximum width 73.4 inches, and it rides on a wheelbase of 105.9 inches with an overall length of 181.5 and an overall height of 68.6 inches. Maximum payload is 1,050 pounds. Ground clearance 8.6 inches. Approach angle 19 degrees, departure angle 21 degrees. It does have a curb weight of 3,615 pounds, and it has a turning diameter of 37.4 feet with a maximum trailering of 3,500 pounds. It also does have a 14.5 gallon fuel tank capacity. Now, let's talk about our spade scale, and safety is first. Well, the safety features and crash worthiness of the new Toyota RAV4 make it a top safety pick award recipient from IIHS. Performance 0 to 60, 8.2 seconds. Top speed 130 miles per hour. Standing quarter mile 16.3 seconds at 88 miles per hour. And more importantly, braking 70 to 0, 166 feet. Now, appearance. Well, subtle styling differences like the dark gray front and rear lower fascias and the rugged dark gray over fenders amp up its exterior looks. Dependability. Well, its basic warranty is 36 months, 36,000 miles. It has a drivetrain warranty of 60 months, 60,000 miles, and it has a roadside assistance warranty for 24 months, unlimited miles. And it does also have a maintenance warranty for 24 months, 25,000 miles. So Economy, it has a combined rating of 28 miles per gallon. City rating is 25 and a highway rating is 33 miles per gallon. So in summary, the RAV4 is a perennial best-selling SUV for Toyota, and there are trim levels for every budget, all the way from the price-leading LE trim up to the high-end Limited. This new TRD Off-Road model promises improved capability when hitting the trails, and its rugged styling makes it look right at home alongside its big brothers, the 4Runner and Tacoma TRD Off-Road. The ride is comfortable and the handling is quick and concise, and it's easy to live with. Its chiseled good looks only add to the overall package and will look great out on the trails or out on the town. So, now let's take a look inside, but before we do, take a moment, give us a like, and hit that subscribe button down below. So, what do you say, Nate?
Come on in, let's take a look.
All right, take it away, Nathan.
And stepping inside the 2020 RAV4 TRD Off-Road, up here you have your auto up and down, all 4 windows, and you have your unlock lock buttons, your window lockout, and then of course your mirror controls. You'll notice that where the red stitching starts on the door, it's got a very nice line right here. You do have down here, let me move this here, you do have bottle storage, and you have some extra storage down in here, along with one of your 6 speakers. Okay, the seats themselves are very comfortable, and you'll notice the TRD Off-Road stitching here coming up on the top of the seat, and then you'll notice the TRD stitching right in the headrest, which is really sharp. Looks nice. Now, in addition to that, you've got red accents around the cup holders here. You've got a red accent in the cubby storage right here. And then on the floor mats, you've got the TRD Off-Road logo printed right on the floor mats. Okay, the seat itself is an 8-way power with a 2-position power lumbar. So total 10-way power. Okay, you got a nice footrest down here. Of course, you got a nice footrest down here. Coming up here, you do have a fuel release lever, and you do have your hood release. Moving up a little bit further, you've got your dashboard dimming and brightness control. You have your automatic lights on here, but you also have to set them on to auto up here on the stock. This is like the master switch for it. Hey, you do have, Rob talked about the de-icer on the windshield for the windshield wipers. That's where you activate that. Your heated steering wheel, which is awesome in this climate. And then, of course, your rear door open. And then you have a little cubby right up in here, which is nice. And it's got a nice textured grip on the bottom so things don't slide so easily. All right, let's step in. All right, so it is a push start. I do like the graphics at the beginning here. Kind of like it's going over different terrain. So on the driver's information center, you have a 7-inch screen. You've got an analog RPM gauge, and over on the right, you've got an analog fuel gauge and an engine temperature gauge. Basically, the driver's information screen will take you through several settings. Basically, you have this screen here, which gives you your distance to empty, total average miles per gallon. And then you have your lane assistance, and then you've got your media, and then you've got your trip meter, and then you've got settings, and then you have any messages. All right, and that's all just controlled over here with these cursors. All right, on the steering wheel itself, you've got driver's information control right here along with the back button. You've got your phone on or off right here. You got your media volume control, and then your voice command button. Over here, you have your distance setting for your adaptive cruise control. You have your lane departure on or off. And then, of course, you have your cruise control on, set, resume, and cancel. This mode button switches between different modes for audio on the infotainment system. And then this is like a scrolling button right or left for like radio stations or different track numbers. Over here on the left of the steering wheel is where part of your auto lights are. You have your daytime driving lamps off, but when the minute you turn into auto, All the parking lamps come on automatically, and when you put it into drive, then the daytime driving lamps come on in the front. Okay, you got your parking light here, and then of course you got your manually turn on your lights there. And then you have your fog lamp control right here, as well as your turn signals and your bright or dim. Over here is your front windshield wiper controls, along with your rear window wiper controls. All right, moving on over to the infotainment screen. This is an 8-inch screen, and it comes with 6 speakers. It does have Bluetooth. It has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM satellite, AM/FM radio, and HD radio. So it's a well-equipped infotainment system. And along with Apple CarPlay, remember you can put maps and that kind of stuff up here. This car doesn't come built in with navigation. You'll do notice that there's a map button. When you're hooked into Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, map button brings up your maps from your phone. Okay, in addition to that, you've got a home button, which is where we are right now. It shows you 3 different screens. You've got a menu button, so you can get into specific apps. You've got a direct audio button. Okay? And right here, if you click on sound, this is where you go to treble and bass and fade. Moving up here, you've got your seek back and forth. So if you're in a radio, that will change stations. You got your phone button, and you've got, of course, an apps button that you can put some other apps on here. And this is where your Wi-Fi is as well. Okay, and then you got a tune scroll button, a push button power, and then a volume button right here. Coming down, you've got your vent controls right here. You got your hazard lights. Again, that beautiful red stitching that goes across. Moving down here, we have dual zone auto climate control. And I do like the rubber grips for the passenger and the driver here. And the minute you turn the passenger, then it goes individual, which is typical. Your physical sync button, however, is right here, which I really like. AC buttons there, auto buttons here, and the whole off is right there. I do like the digital display that they have. And then, of course, you have your basic climate control functions all down here. Okay? Moving down a little bit further, you've got your traction control on or off. And then the front seats are heated and ventilated. And so you've got orange lights for the heat, and you've got green lights for the ventilation. And that's on both sides. Down here, you've got this beautiful little tray area. It's got this red surround, which I like, part of the TRD Off-Road package. A nice rubber grip. Okay? You do have a 12-volt outlet right here to plug into. And you also have a USB port right down here, which is where you would hook into Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Moving back, you've got a bunch of buttons right here. You've got your parking brake here, which is electronic. You have your hold button here. So this is for if you want to take your foot off the brake while you stopped in traffic. If that's engaged, it'll stay at a stop until you press the accelerator or resume on your cruise control. All right, down here you've got an eco mode, a normal mode, and a sport mode. In normal mode, the dashboard really doesn't change anything. It just stays looking like this. If you go to eco mode, a lot of it turns green. And if you go to sport, a lot of it turns red. And then it will tell you if you're in sport or eco on the left here by the RPM gauge, but it won't tell you if you're in normal. So if it doesn't say anything, you know you're in normal. Down here, you have part of your all-wheel drive system here. So if I push, it's normal. And if I twist to the left, I get mud and sand. And if I twist to the right, I get rock and dirt. Now, I like little lights and toys. And what you notice is, if I shade it, is that this center button actually lights up. So if I'm in normal, it's blue. If I go to mud and sand, it turns more of a sort of a yellowish color. And if I go to rock and dirt, it turns to more of a whitish lavender color, which is interesting, just a neat little touch. Down here, you've got a snow mode and then your hill descent control. The shifter is standard. If you want to do some manually shifting, you can bump it over. Once you're in drive, you can bump it over to the left. Then you can go through the 8 different gears going up and down here. Moving back a little bit, again, you got the cup holders with a nice red accent piece. Again, part of that TRD Off-Road package. Okay. And then the center console storage area. You have got 2 USB outlets right here. They're charge only. And then you've got a nice storage area here. It got a nice felt bottom here that you can remove to clean. over here on the right, you do have this nice little cubby storage, and it is fairly deep. You can easily fit a phone right in there. Okay, with that rubber grip, it's hard to move, so it should stay pretty sturdy. Down here, you've got a nice soft opening glove compartment, and it's quite large. Moving on up, you do have a standard day-night mirror. And then coming up here, you've got your sunglass storage. Up here, you have your sunroof open and closed and tilting function right here. These, of course, are your dome lights for the front. And then you can turn them all on in the car. And this one sets them to on or off when the doors are open. The shade itself is a manually opening window shade right here for the sunroof. You got grab handles on both sides. And then the mirrors here have a light on the ceiling that comes on when you open them up, which is nice. And they are not telescoping. However, they do have this extension piece that comes out. So that pretty much covers you right to your mirror. Let's step in the back. All right, stepping in the back, you do continue the red stitching on the doors, along with the metal look on the trim here. You got your auto up and down window and another bottle holder right here, as well as one of your 6 speakers. Now, stepping in, one of the things I noticed, and I noticed this on the ride, and I rode back here, I really like the back of these seats. I just think they're really, really comfortable. And they are 2-position recline. And I'll show you that in a minute. But first, as far as the seats go, there's one storage pocket behind the passenger seat. And then you have 2 2.1 amp USB plug-ins down below, as well as some vent controls for your climate control. I do like the TRD Off-Road logo again on the floor mat. And then you have an armrest, which I always like it when they're elevated. I think that is just more comfortable. And then you have your dual cup holders. All right, so let's talk about legroom and headroom. So headroom, I've got like 4 inches. It's huge. And I left the seat where it was when I was driving. And I have got, well, my shortest knee here, or one that's close to the seat's got about 2 inches. So plenty of clearance here. I wanted to show you how these seats will recline. So back here, this is the lever to release the entire seat to fold it forward. But you'll notice this little button right here, as soon as I pull it, it pops up. Okay? So if I pull it, and I pull it up all the way, this will allow me to recline the seat. But if I put it back gently, you'll watch that red button disappear. This is the more upright position. Okay, and it's locked in place. But if I pull it again, then it'll sit back further. So that's your tilt. Okay? Now, let's just show you quickly how to fold them out and put them back up again. Okay, again, you just grab that same lever I did a minute ago, pull it up, push the seat all the way forward. It couldn't be more simple. Okay? And you've got this nice rubber mat that goes behind the seat. So when you load something, you're not getting the cloth in the back of your seat dirty. And I really like it when they add that part. Okay? And to put them back up is simply just lift them up and click them in place. And that's all there is to it. Overall, really nice ride. Very impressive vehicle. And I really like the red stitching and the TRD stuff on the inside as well as the outside. Thanks for watching.
Okay, and my favorite thing is this little storage shelf. It's just perfect for a phone to fit in. It's really cool. It sits in there. It can slide a little bit, but it is a kind of a grippy rubber in there, but it won't slide out because it's got a nice lip on it. That'll hold your phone perfectly, or pens or anything else you want to put in there. That is my favorite thing.
All right, so my favorite thing is a small thing, but I like lights and buttons and toys. So I really like it that when you're pushing this button here, it looks black to most appearances, but in the dark it's going to glow. So again, it's blue if it's normal. It turns to like a sand or yellow color if you're in mud and sand, and then it switches to like a sort of a purplish white when you are in rock and dirt mode. And I just like that little touch. I think that's nice. My favorite thing.